Good morning and welcome back to Sosnovka. Today is a big day. We've just been informed that our 20 cows are available from the state cow supplier to go and pick up. So we're going to crack on with that. So what we're going to need to do, and if you keep a little note, we started the day with exactly $24,000. So we're going to go into the shop. And we are going to lease the smaller animal trailer. Now the reason we're going to lease this one, excuse me, is that will cost us less than delivery charge for all the 20 cows. It's going to take 3 and a bit runs because of the capacity, but that's okay. We can do that within the first hour. We won't pay any additional charges. There is a bigger option that would do it all in one go. I think that one carries 21 cows, but it costs so much to lease it that isn't worth doing. You might as well just have them delivered from the market. So there you go. So let's lease him. And remember, you're only using something when it's hitched up, so you can lease stuff at the beginning of the day that you're going to use that day if you want to kind of get things planned out. It's also important to spend the money you want to spend in a day before you start paying out wages, etc., because then your cash goes down. You can go into the red to pay wages and ongoing costs such as that, and then an emergency fertilizer and seed, but it's an expensive way to do it. So make sure you spend all the money you want to spend before you start things rolling. Very important on the first day. Can really catch me out a couple of times where you set the guy off harvesting and by the time you look you can't quite afford what you thought you could, and that's why. And here we are arriving at the animal distribution centre. Excuse me, I'm going to stop there for just one moment because I want to take a screenshot. There we are. That'll do me. Quite like that on the Xbox. The recorder's really quite difficult to use, as I've talked about in other videos, so I won't talk about it anymore. Anyway, here we are. We're about to get our next 20 cows. Obviously this is really a result. This wasn't my intention when I initially was going to started this playthrough, because there's an extra $100,000 available on the loan now. Now I could just not use it and grind at what was it, $4,000 a day ish before we stole some more land, although we haven't cultivated it that, and we'll talk about that in a second. But why not use it? You know, it accelerates things a little bit, makes things a little bit more interesting and varied, I guess. Who wants to watch me struggle forever? I'm sure none of you are that sadistic, really. Right, so here we go. We're going to buy some cows, and we can buy them 6 at a time. I don't have enough money. Of course I don't. Silly me. Finances screen. Right, let's max out that loan. And will give us exactly what we need. Oh, select the right beast to buy our cows. Right, I'm going to get on with delivering these chaps over. I'll see you when we're bringing the last lot back over. Okay, so the last 2 cows, 3 loads of 6, and these 2. There's been a grey cow in every load. I'm going to check because I don't think I've ever seen a grey cow in the pasture. Hasn't taken very long at all. In fact, I faffed around a little. This map was basically obviously made for cows. The animal dealer's right over here. The amount of mowable grass, as you saw on those field borders we just drove past, is absolutely phenomenal. I wonder how long, or if it would humanly be possible to mow all of the mowable grass on this map in a game day. I'll leave that challenge to somebody else. I'm not accepting it. Right, here we are. Last 2 cows. Unload. Confirm. Now, we have no further use of this trailer. Leased items. We've used it for 0.1 of an hour. We shall return him. No further need for him whatsoever. And while we're here, I am going to check this pasture for any hint of a grey cow. Oh well, not to worry. Nothing much we can do about that. Alright, we have more to do. As you see, money wise, we're pretty much exactly back where we started. We've borrowed the extra $100,000. We have spent the $100,000 exactly on cows. Now, in terms of finances, it's a good thing. It's definitely a positive thing. It's going to add 50% onto our daily interest payments, which is only $400. But if you look at the milk income, it's going to treble it. So we're making $4,000 a day extra. That's 6,000. You know, that's going to double basically our daily income. We've got the extra fields to get the income from, and there have also been further developments, but to discuss those we will have to meet up over at the shop. I shall see you there. Before we discuss those changes, just back to the finances, and you'll also see, I did forget to mention there, animal upkeep's going to treble. That's going to cost us more than the extra loan payment. So we're going to pay an extra $1,200 a day, but we can expect about an extra $4,000 a day income. And there is a little wage cost on there because I have fertilised the fields we stole. They got one layer of fertilisation, and I've ploughed out a little bit of field 19 as wide as we can go without the harvesters getting too confused. So right now, the other big change in this game, well, we had our break in this playthrough, was the advent of mods. Many very, very good mods. So we are going to take advantage of that. In terms of our little story here in Sosnovka, we've been here for a while, we've made some local contacts. As long as the books balance and everything goes through this office here, we can source some equipment locally, some old battered stuff, some second-hand equipment. The first thing we're going to turn back in is this big 21,000 litre trailer, and get $21,000 worth of credits back. So we do need a second trailer, and the first mod we're going to look at is a very nice trailer that we found lurking on the map, so to speak. This one right here is from a pack of these trailers. They're great, they're cheap, they're very much style wise your older farms, your poor farms, your Sosnovkan farms, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go for this one here, 20,000 litre capacity. It is the biggest one actually. The one at the end is smaller, even though it costs the same. We're going to go for this one. What we're going to do, we're going to switch the main colour to fit in with the ministry standard equipment. The design colour is actually the colour of kind of the chassis and the tow bar, so you can choose that. Wheel setup, look, it's £1,000, pounds, whatever, just for a set of wheels. Wheels are an optional extra. It's almost like BMW used to be. So, well, you know, we're on a budget. We'll go for bog standard wheels. Why not? That's the first one. Right, now, we still have $35,000. So what else are we going to spend the next wedge of that on? We've now expanded the cows. And if we look at the animal screen, 30% of their productivity can be boosted by 30% by adding power food, which involves mixing. Now, in previous versions of the game, that bonus was only 10%, and until you had well over 100 cows, it was cheaper to buy 10% more cows than it was to buy the equipment to mix rations. Now it's a 30% boost to productivity, which is fantastic, makes it all a bit more worthwhile. And again, using mods, we've looked around the map, we've found a very, very battered old mixing trailer. If only I can find the animal section. Here we are. It's this mod here. I'll put all the details for the mods in the description. It's the Keenan. We're going to buy the used version, obviously. It is $16,500. We might really get away with leasing it for as much as we're going to need it, certainly for 30 cows. But maybe we'll have a little rule that some of this old equipment we find, i.e. mods and the cheap stuff, we're going to have to buy it. So there we go. We're going to buy that. That is done. We can now mix rations. Or can we? Because we're going to need something else. And it's another mod. We're going to bale. To be honest, with this number of cows, and I'll probably show you just for one demonstration how you could, you know, manage this number of cows and mix rations and really not need to bale, apart from well, you're going to need to make silage somehow. That's why we're going for a baler early on. You could just ferment silage, but we'll look at that another day maybe. Anyway, right, another mod. It's in the Massey Ferguson, I think it's years gone by pack. This little round baler here, which, remember, round bales are the ones that you can wrap. I mean, no, there are square bale wrappers available now, but we'll keep things relatively simple. We're going to buy ourselves, we're going to need a warning triangle, definitely. Health and safety is a must. That leaves us $7,000. Now, the last of our money we are going to spend on seed. And I think we're going to go for 3 of those and another mod. Is an alternative source of seed. These bags. Now, basically, it's cheaper to buy the fertilizer in the bag per litre, more expensive to buy seed, and exactly the same to buy pig food. So fertilizer, we're going to buy in bags from now on, and we'll show you how to handle them. Unfortunately, only one at a time. Right, that's as much as we can get. So, where's our little Zeta gone? I wish you could turn a little bit faster. I'm going to show you this one, the first one I load up, and also bring out the trailer. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I quite like these bags. They're a little bit quirky in the physics, but once you get the hang of them. And also remember that the game doesn't worry about whether you've got pallet forks or bale spikes on. They both do exactly the same two things. You can move pallets with the spikes. You can spike things with these pallet forks. There you go. No, missed him. I've said that. I bet it's not true. Basically, we need to get one of those through the middle. There is an area through the top here. We should go through. Have we got him? We just, yes. We have him. There we are. Bag of seed. Save a little bit of money. Can we lift him up high enough to get him in there? Don't know if we can. We can't. There's a lesson learned. Can't empty fertilizer bags into tall trailers anyway. The front loaders also, they always needed a back weight for this kind of shenanigans before. Come on. Oh, look at that. Not the best animation in the world, but that's Sosnovka physics for you. Right, I'm going to get on with the loading, and then we'll look at these mods. So here we go. We're just, oh wow, I find the depth perception quite hard to do from inside, but I think we're high enough now. There we go. Emptying our seed into the trailer, and let's have a look at the trailer. We can see, have a little tour while that's doing that. It matches the ministry issue trailer superbly. Lovely spare wheel, lots of detail. I like it. We'll check the lights on the way back. We'll put it on the back of the road train. Yeah, very nice piece of kit. The smaller ones, one of the second largest version, you can put wood extensions on the side, which I quite like, especially for smaller old rustic farms. But yeah, the trailer is absolutely fine. Let's have a quick look. This is the beaten up Keenan mixed ration mixer, power food maker, whatever you want to call it in this day and age. It looks suitably beaten, used, cheap, Sosnovkan, however you want to put it. And here we have the Massey Ferguson pack round baler, which again is a fantastic mod. The detail in every mod item in that pack is absolutely immense. I'm going to do a playthrough just based on that pack. You will probably see some more bits and pieces of it here too. The only little glitchiness I've seen on this one is that when you raise the back to let the trailer out, when you've got the lights on, the light animation, whatever you want to call it, stays right there. But so what? Hats off to anyone that can make a mod. Right, let's hitch these trailers up. What we're going to do, we're going to do little one to back one so we can check the lights. I still like manually doing these pallets. I don't know, it's almost my little, it's a bit like washing up. It's one of those jobs that you just get on with. Your brain's engaged manually, but not too much in any other way. That's when I come up with these mad little cover stories for why I'm playing this game. Or one day I'm going to be able to back one of those wagon trailers onto another, but I'm still a full exponent of this method. You really will get the hang of this, and I'm hoping, I still need some adjustment, I'm hoping one day off the back of doing this like this, I shall kind of crack actually doing it just once. I don't care how long it takes me. Here we go, we're going to get on that hitch, no, a little bit more that way. Go on. Oh, I don't know, I'm getting there. Practice makes perfect. I find this game, and it's one of the things I really do find, it's almost full of little mini games for me. Most of my farms are set up so I can go and do different things. A lot of it involves being silly with front loaders. I don't mind that this is taking me a while. I'm in no great rush. I'm getting better. Anyway, right, remember to unhitch the front one. And we'll get this stuff back to the farm. We'll use the other tractor to come and pick up that equipment. Right, lights on. What do we got on the trailer? We've got lights. We've got turn signals, indicators, as we call them here. No hazards, but very few trailers seem to have like hazard mode for their rear indicators. Anyway, we'll be off. We'll get the rest of the stuff moved back to the farm, and then we're going to talk about cows and what we're going to do here now. Thank you. Now, one of our priorities is to get our cows up to 100% production. That will fully satisfy the man from the ministry, and he will maybe turn a little bit of blind eye if he thinks any shenanigans have gone on. Right, talking of shenanigans, here in Sosnovka we do things our own way. Let's have a little bit more of a look at this mod baler just before we do, just for the functionality, etc. We've got a lower pickup, there we go, turn him on, gonna put our lights on. He's got lights, he has no hazard beacon, the square baler has a hazard beacon. I'm going to leave the lights on so when we actually are done with a bale, you'll be able to see what I meant about the just a little glitch on the lights, but as I say, it's really not a complaint. I know there are some purists out there, but I'm just really happy with the way it works and the way it looks. And this is, yep, easy baling, certainly for the grass, which we're then going to wrap the silage to make some mixed rations, which is by far the quicker method. We will have to lease a wrapper later after we made some money back from the harvest, but that's fine. All part of the day's plan. What I'm also going to do while we're doing this, while I think of it, I'm going to turn on to 5 times speed. As you can see, the harvest isn't even ready yet. It's a little bit of a restriction on what you can do, which I kind of like. Right, we've got a bale full. Sorry, I've got the sound turned down on the TV that I'm actually playing on. The monitor, I should say. And here we'll see. We'll leave all our bales over here. Unfold balers. See the lights? I like it. It's added safety. As I say, really not a big issue for me at all. I'm going to get on with making maybe 3 or 4 bales of grass, which we'll wrap into silage later on, and I'll be back to you when we start mowing for some hay. Right, one run up and down the side of our neighbour's field. Oh, Indro's rolling away. One run up and down the neighbour's field, as I was saying, is exactly 4 bales of grass. I'll zoom out a little bit. So we got room for another run up and down the field, mowing and tedding, during which time we expect to make, hopefully, enough hay to make 4 bales. Right, sorry, it's hard to narrate and just concentrate, and I'm easily confused, so there we go. So this should be about right. We've got plenty of, this is going to be our grass production area. I think this is going to suffice for 30 cows. As I say, the mowing potentials on this map are pretty much limitless. You can raise as many cows as you've got money to buy cows and time to mow. It's pretty much as simple as that. Anyway, run up and down the field, I'll bale up the hay, and then we'll see where we are. When we were mowing and tedding, we had somebody come out and shouted at us for being too close to that field, because it took into account the width of the tedder when it was calculating field boundaries. But not to worry, because as you can see, we can gobble up this stuff that didn't get tedded. Whatever your bale finishes with is what it will become. Now you can exploit that, and I may show you later. Straw is much easier to get than grass, because you don't have to mow it. You can make bales of straw and then top it up with grass right at the end, and then turn it into silage and be proper naughty. Maybe we'll give that a go when we're short of cash. It's a possibility. I just tell you about these things. Whether your conscience prevents you from doing them or not, I shall leave to yourselves. Anyway, that's another bale done. So it was a bale of grass we were short of. I think I must have flipped one of the bales without realising it by picking up a little bit of hay at the last moment from the last cut. There you go. So we are fully baled. So one thing to bear in mind, a lot of tutorials will mention the fact that you need 1 bale of straw and then 2 either of silage and hay, and then 1 of the other to make a batch of mixed rations. That's not the case with this mixer, because it's got a smaller capacity, exactly 4,000 smaller, so the mix is just going to be 1 straw, 1 hay, 1 silage. That's what you need to put into this mixer. Now then, we popped back to the shop, because as I mentioned right at the beginning, it's very good to spend your money before you start employing people. The harvest is a little bit late in the day today, so I haven't paid any wages, so I've still got $829 left, and it's just as well, because I want one of these, because we've got some bales to pick up and some other jobs to do for a friend we've made, and we literally have just enough. $760 is the minimum lease charge. We're down to our last 69, but we had just enough money to do that. Now, if I'd set a harvester going, we would have had too little money very, very quickly. So as I say, there you go, a little reminder for you and for me: check that you've got everything you need before you run out of money through paying wages. Right, and I think that's a good point to call it an episode. We've done the morning prep. In the next part, we'll do the harvest, we'll get the cows fed, we'll get rations mixed. I'll see you soon. Take care. Please like and subscribe. Bye bye.